Hi, I'm Bowling Otter.
And I'm Lizzie Sandwich.
And welcome to the BS.
The Bowling Otter Show.
Hello again.
So we got another list for you guys. Another top
one.
list for 2015. This one's a top 5.
Yes, top 5.
Because we wanted to pick our 5 favorite original soundtracks for games.
I'm so excited about this one. I think I was the most excited about this one over the other lists.
There's a few soundtracks that just stuck out like crazy this year.
Oh my gosh.
We take these very seriously because we're both music students. I'm still going to music school right now.
Lifelong musician.
And it's so awesome to be able to talk about some really awesome music this year. Number 5, Turbo Pug.
I'm so excited for Turbo Pug.
There's only 2 songs in this game.
Yeah.
2 songs.
That's it.
But we have been singing both of those songs at some point in the house like every other day or something ever since we played that game.
I am a pug.
I am a pug. I am a turbo pug.
I like the claps.
Pug, a turbo pug, a turbo pug. I am a turbo pug.
I love it. I love it. I love it. How awesome was that?
Yeah, so good.
So much fun.
So good. So I don't know. It's got to be here. I know there's not that much to it, and whatever.
It's effective though.
Yeah.
It's effective at, just these little
I never
short
forgot
bursts.
these songs. There's other games I could say that probably have better like textbook soundtracks, but I couldn't sing you a single song from them.
Right, that's
Which
true.
isn't always necessarily bad, it's not the point.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I just these ones stuck out so much for just being completely singable. We had to put them on here.
And this one I think was probably one of the most singable ones.
Yeah.
That is at least on this list.
I agree totally.
Number 4, Until Dawn. I freaking loved this soundtrack because it reminds me a lot of those old Bernard Herrmann soundtracks from the Alfred Hitchcock films.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of like Psycho and all those kinds of movies. And I just thought it gave such like a mood, like you felt like you were in an old horror movie. But a lot of it was also like just ambiance.
The music had a lot to do with why this game was so convincingly cinematic.
Yes.
And cinematic's like a word that doesn't really mean that much in gaming, but in a game like Until Dawn, which it's a boon to call it cinematic because it's really directly inspired by old school horror movies.
Right.
Not even old school, like even more recent horror movies. And it came off feeling like one. Oh crap. That you could play through, and the music had a lot to do with that.
Oh, completely.
And as good as the game looked, it just sounded as good as it looked.
Yeah, the music made me so scared in parts that I didn't even need to be scared. All those really high strings, it's just enough to like do it for me, just to kind of like set a mood with everything.
It hit all the right notes.
Hey, that's one for Maddie.
Number 3, Dropsy. All right, Dropsy, this is a no-brainer to put this on the list. The only thing that we had trouble with is whether or not to put it higher. It's just really, really good. I went and picked this soundtrack up off Bandcamp, I think it was on.
Right, went and got it.
Yeah, I went and bought it and added to
game.
iTunes. And like, I had so many times at work, I would just come downstairs and sign out of work and just play this soundtrack on loop. It's so good.
So pleasant.
Yeah.
And it's just like a small ensemble, and whoever that sax player is, I must give you a round of applause because you are fantastic.
Yeah, as much as any other soundtrack, and perhaps even more so than any other soundtrack this year, this was definitely a character in the game. Ooh, can the mouse go in there?
Where?
Can the mouse go? Can the mouse go? Yes, he can.
Yeah.
Because the game was so oddball and off the wall to begin with, and like this soundtrack was like just enough kind of like
to keep us invested.
It's a little different, and like especially for a game, and it was like wow, it set the setting perfectly. It fit the vibe of the game perfectly.
It did
Totally
fit the vibe,
did.
yeah. And you're just kind of waltzing around. A lot of it is just like walking music, working music.
Yeah. Every like half a songs are just different takes on the theme that's existed for the rest of the album. But anyway, I would recommend picking up the album if you can.
Any of these,
it's awesome to listen to just on its own.
Number 2, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is unbelievable.
Up until the moment we started recording this, we were still wondering if we were going to put it as number 1.
We were flip-flopping. And and he actually said, do you want to do a tie?
Yeah, we considered doing a tie.
And there was something that was able to like tip us over.
Yeah.
But I could talk about this soundtrack for so long because it is so beautiful and so well arranged, and there's some amazing soloists in the entire piece. There's like vocals, and you know, there's a clarinetist who is amazing.
Is that like Gregorian
and,
chant?
Oh, there's some Gregorian chants in there.
It's amazing. It's so it's like
choirs.
It's pulled off perfectly. Like every player, every musician that's a part of that orchestra that did that soundtrack is just spot on.
Yes.
I mean, they got
and the
that's as good as
soundtrack is by
anybody.
Jessica Curry, and absolutely
she
pick
killed
it up
it.
if
She
you
killed
can.
it. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And like 12 different pieces. Like it's a long soundtrack. There's and through the whole thing, how many times did we just stop?
Just
while
listen.
playing this game?
I mean, the game
and go,
that
wow.
it matters a lot that it was so important to the game too, because there are plenty of moments in that game where we're just stopping, looking around, looking at some visual
scenery,
marvel,
like,
and then that music's in the background, and it's just like
they're coming.
I mean, it was like overwhelming sometimes.
Heaven,
yeah, it was amazing.
You know? It's
it was
like
amazing.
Looking around and just like, oh my gosh, listen to this. Everything was like super legato and like super nice and super legato. That's a technical term.
Super legato.
Super legato
means really legato.
Yeah. Yes.
Super molto legato.
Super molto legato.
That sounds like a Mexican wrestler.
That's such a good game. Like unbelievable soundtrack. Go get it.
Yeah. Number 1, Ori and the Blind Forest. Okay, our number 1 pick is Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ooh,
this was
tough.
not an easy choice
No.
to put over Rapture, but just like it wouldn't have been an easy choice to put Rapture over this, it wasn't going to happen.
But this was our gut instinct.
This was our gut instinct. This was the first thing we were thinking of.
we
Like,
went,
obviously
Ori.
Ori's going to be first. And then we thought of Rapture later and went around our heads with it. But our gut told us to put this one first.
Absolutely.
And ultimately, what put it over the top, it is every bit as good as everybody's gone to the Rapture from a technical perspective. Ori and the Blind Forest was just melded right in the game. And
the story.
The story. And like, there's so many powerful moments in that game. And that complemented it amazingly every time it happened. And like huge swells, gigantic swells. In fact, I mean, this soundtrack is so good that so many of the comments on our first video for Ori and the Blind Forest are like super angry at us for making too much noise through the music.
Oh, look at all the little babies! Oh no. No, 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 no. Don't you dare. Whoa.
Oh, this is our bad guy.
How dare you hit the babies! Wow. Oh no! It took the light!
Oh, the score is so awesome. I love the music in
This is
this.
so epic. Oh, that's
Like
right.
everybody's
I don't even
like,
look at
you
those
gotta shut up,
comments.
listen to the music, guys.
Be
And, like,
quiet.
I know
Yeah.
it's no other game this year has nobody's ever said
No.
that this year
No,
for any
that's
other
true.
game on their channel.
Yeah, that's true.
No one's ever I mean, they've said they like the music, but nobody ever went out there and like angrily complained that they couldn't hear it better.
Right.
I mean, this got to everybody.
It did.
And
It
it's
did.
amazing soundtrack. I think it already won a couple awards throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I
absolutely.
totally deserved. I loved this game, and the music has so much to do with how I felt
does.
playing.
It does. It just added, like when we were playing the songs back, and I said, let me go back. And like I played one, and we both went like, oh.
Yeah, it
because
just
we
brought back
remembered
rushes of memories from
all
the
of
game,
these
like, oh, that
feelings.
part, oh my God.
And I think that was enough, just that, like, visceral reaction because of the story was enough to put it at number 1 for both of us.
Yeah.
Because it was so beautiful. It like ran the gamut from like really like intense driving music to like these beautiful like arias. Whoa.
Oh, so much. Look how big he is.
This is epic as hell. Like,
it was really hard to choose this one over Rapture. I gotta tell you, like we said before, we up until the very moment we hit record, we were still turning this over in our heads.
Yeah,
but I feel comfortable with giving this one the top mark for this.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. Because I'd listen to Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and I would say, oh, how can this not be number one? Listen to this, it's so beautiful. And then I go, well, let me listen to Ori. And then I get that feeling again of, oh my gosh, remember, because that game broke my heart. And everybody else's.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of you came here from Ori and the Blind Forest. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, hello.
And I'm so glad so many of you stuck around.
Yeah.
But
so that means so many of you have also experienced that with us. We've all played that game together, and that was something to share.
It was.
And the music had so much to do with that. We're probably forgetting something good on this list.
I know. We just ran through it real quick in our heads. And
so let us know in the comments if we did.
Coming to mind
we did not put Geometry Dash on here because that game didn't come out this year.
I know.
We wanted to stick the games that came out this year.
That was another one of our first choices. Yeah. We were like, oh, Geometry Dash, and then that didn't work because I love me some catchy songs.
There are plenty of other games with great soundtracks this year, but these 5 were the standouts for us. So that's why we put them on this list. And we got 2 more lists coming up. So if you want to see them, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you catch them.
Yes, please.
And if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, bye.
Bye.
This game had to be on the list just because it probably had the most terrible jump scares of anything we played this year.